You're listening to another episode of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is the place where you're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, it's going to be very, very hot today, but it's nice and air conditioned here in the local Legends Lab studio, which I have Adam Gilmer and Allison Stoner of Gilmer Solutions. And you're a new business into Burleson area, right? When did y'all start?
2017.
Okay, so you're relatively new and you're getting the word out, and we'll talk about where you're at and whom you serve, what area you serve, and all the above. It's going to be just really fun. This is their first podcast they've ever done, and so it's kind of fun, isn't it? You're going to have to, they don't hear nods, Allison.
Yes, it's very fun.
Yeah, definitely a new experience.
Yeah, no, it is, but it's all right. But it's just a conversation, and my vast listening audience is always very polite, so I don't think I have to worry about it. But we'll talk all about your business because it is a fairly specialized business, and so not maybe a lot of people are as familiar with it as we hope they will be after this, at least. So let's run through the sponsors real quick, and then we'll jump right to it. It's our first one, of course, is our friends at CrossFit Burleson on 317 Southwest Wilshire. Lexi and Bailey will set you up with what you need. They're the new owners. They were on the show about a month ago, and they they do have plans. They got some very ambitious plans. So check out the website, see what the new plans are and what the membership plans and whatnot at CrossFitBurleson.com. Also, Shandy Stoggsville Group, she has a house that she's showing right now. She came by last night to borrow some stuff and talk about it a little bit. Shandy Stoggsville will help you in moving in and around this area. I plan to have her on the show probably late August because, school's starting up again. And some of the parents of my little group here, I have to scramble around for that. But anyway, Stoggsville Group will help you move in and around this area. They know the rates and they know the houses. Also, our place. I bet y'all been to our place before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, Otto is a really good man, and he always is very helpful. He's very generous to the community. I always appreciate what he does, not just for the food and the service and all that, but he also is very, very generous with his time and money. So our place restaurant on the highway and Allsbury, you know it. Everybody in town is probably eating there. I really like it, of course. And also, there's another place I really like. Wild Cigar. Y'all cigar smokers, by any chance?
Not at this time.
Not at this time, but you. Not yet. Well, it's also a bar, a very nice bar. So, but they have a really nice humidor, and so even if you don't know, well, you probably know somebody who smokes. You can buy gift cards certainly, and they'd be really, really excited if they're a cigar aficionado because it's, all these different types and specialties. But also, it's a good place to do business. You can probably take clients over there. They have a conference room, and after that you can have a drink or whatnot. And it's over on the Standard. Thank you, Chris, for all you do. And here's somebody else you ought to consider advertising with, Local Life magazine. Are you familiar with this one by any chance? Local Life goes out to 30,000 homes in this area, Burleson and Joshua, primarily, some in Crowley. And it's a local ad magazine, and they have stories, and they're like, they focus on businesses or maybe focus on certain industries in Burleson, whatever else. And I advertise with it. She advertises with me, so it works out really well. But it's a very, very popular magazine. Besides going to all those homes, it also goes to a lot of businesses. I was at the auto shop about 2 weeks ago, and I saw the latest issue on their coffee table. So there you are. Local Life Magazine, TX.com also if you want to check out what's going on currently. And Southern Jim. Now, is there a Mrs. Gilmer you have to deal with?
Yes.
Okay. You need to take Mrs. Gilmer there to Southern Gym. They just opened up the bottom floor. And they were on the third floor. Now they're on the first floor, much bigger. It's quite the deal. It really is very, very nice. And it's I've had a lot of people who've gone by just to check it out, and they're just like very, very impressed. And Gayla knows Jules. So there you are. All right. I'm going to sit here now. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to hook up everybody on the platforms because Facebook is kind of cantankerous about that. I want to make sure I get it done. There you go. All right, now you're shared. All right, Old Pro Roofing, John Williams, 817-734-2756. If you had roof damage lately, you really just need to check your roofs every few years anyway because you never know. John came out and checked mine after the last hailstorm, told me I was good to go, so I appreciated that. No upsell, no hassle. You know, I heard stories for about 2 weeks about these armies of roofers coming through, knocking on doors.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, and you know, I don't begrudge a man making a living, certainly, but I'd rather work with somebody I know and as a hometown presence, you know, and that they're here in Old Town, so we know where to find them. So
I think Allison used John.
I did.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
He came to my house as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you need any repairs?
I do.
Okay.
I haven't done them yet.
Well, you know, I'm sure there's a long line, but
Yeah.
So you live in Burleson?
Yes.
Did you get hammered with the hailstorm?
We did, yes. I
What-
think 3-inch size. Yeah, it was big where we were. We're in Mountain Valley.
Mountain Valley, yeah. I heard that part, the Joshua west part of Burleson got hit the hardest. I live east of the highway, right out off of Renfro, and we had a little pea-sized hail, but it caused little dents in my car, but it didn't damage the roof. So there you go. So I appreciate having that kind of honesty from a roofer. And most of them are honest, but not all. So there you are. Also, Texas Farm Bureau, Melissa Harmon, boy, she was working hard at this too. She told me her phone was ringing off the hook for 2 or 3 weeks because of that storm. 682-804-0534 is that phone call. Have her check out your insurance. Even if you don't think you need it, she might be able to find you some savings. She did for me. You know, I had an insurance company I was not unhappy with, and she saved me a little money and amped up my insurance on my house, and so it really helped. So give her a holler if you're looking to change insurance companies. Make sure you're good. Shannon Suter Taylor says, is there no sound or is it just her? I'll check. All right, he says he'll check. I'm sure. What now? What?
Sound is good. Keep going.
Okay, Shannon, he said it sounds okay, so maybe you check something else that's happening, but no, apparently we're getting sound here and whatnot. Also, one last one. You met this at BNI, her at BNI. This is Lisa Smith with the Stop Restoration. So if you had water damage from this, you know, give her a holler because she could check out the water damage or fire damage or biohazards or whatever else. They're mold specialists, so you don't think about that all the time unless you just absolutely see it. But a lot of times, you know, in Texas and mold kind of go together. So have them check it out for you. I don't think we have any nonprofit stuff. I know the little red schoolhouse is going to be up and running if it's not already. So check that out with Harvest House. And they're having their school supply drive very, very soon. I believe it starts this weekend. Also, I do know a week from Saturday, the Next Step Women's Center is having like a Christmas in July, a toy drive for their outfit. And Megan, in fact, will be on next Tuesday to talk about that. Okay, let's talk about y'all since we're here. First of all, where exactly are y'all located at?
It's on the east side of the 35, like you're saying, behind the Spinks Airport. Kind of
Okay.
back by you.
Yeah, I live, you know, if you know where what used to be Bennett's and all that, now it's a Renfro one stop and you know, a little bit past that, near Cana Baptist, that's where I live. So right by Spinks, that row of buildings there by the Spinks Airport by Lowe's. And
Yep, behind there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back by is it the Oaks Golf Course?
Yes. Chances, I see you talking, but I can't hear. Anybody else having this problem, please let us know. Anyway, so how long y'all been there?
2017, when we started the business, and kind of started out with one direction, and then, you know, God has different directions for you and different plans, and
Yeah.
kind of threw a wrench into that, adjusted, and kind of found our niche and kind of what kind of gets me moving is helping out businesses with those gaps. And our slogan is we work with manufacturing companies with to find, source, and even modify products to help with customer demand. But a basic back saying of that is what we have is we fill in the gaps with manufacturers. So each company is definitely different. Their location's different, owners different, products different, and they don't have this one way of manufacturing business as every other manufacturing company. So we help fill in those gaps that distributors can't fill in. We work closely with procurement agents, and we definitely understand that the issues that they have and the constraints they have in kind of like the political realm of companies, and we can kind of outsource that and go around a lot of the hoops and barrels that procurement agents has to go through.
Okay, let's put this in I guess, more concrete terms, because so they could see more or less what's happening on the ground. What kind of business would I have to be to need your service?
Really, any manufacturing company or just a company that purchase or does kind of changes things often. Right, so manufacturing companies will have different lines of products, or they update the line of product, or they have changes in their structure. If they're doing the same thing over and over again, like a plastic molding company, probably won't be a good fit, just because they're doing the same thing over and over again, and which isn't a problem. It's just that's their way of doing business. So one of our main customers is oil and gas, and they change out their products or update their products to continue the evolution of making their product better. So with that being said, is they're kind of always searching for new ways or new products or new suppliers or things like that. So we can come in and bid on those jobs. I know a lot of times that you'll get, the process is to get 3 bids, but you send out 10, you get 5 reply backs, and you actually only get 1 bid. So we can be that extra bid for you, but at the same time as we'll source fasteners, products, labor, I mean, you name it, we can help fulfill that gap that you're trying to fill. And Allison, if you want to kind of fill in more with the product details or things.
And just to understand more, I think too, with the companies and the barriers that they face, a lot of corporate companies have restrictions of purchasing. So one of our bigger things is being able to purchase overseas. Or being able to purchase through something as simple as Amazon, which a lot of companies have restrictions against.
Well, really, I thought Amazon was everywhere all the time. It's like
well, at my house it is.
But... So, like you talk about oil and gas or something like that. Or I'm a manufacturer of widgets, and I would come to y'all because I need materials or need markets, or what would you be providing for me?
I think lately it was mostly the COVID restrictions with the importing. You know, there was a lot of price increases lately. You have the can't get it. So I understand that purchasing agent has a lot of issues when that supervisor, manager, or line lead or somebody is basically demanding these products so that they can put it out. And even the sales team is like, hey, I got these orders, but we can't fulfill them. So that purchase agent has this one avenue to go through. We can say, we can give you another avenue.
Okay. So you do hook them up with end users. See, I was in the impression that actually when you talked about, product, services, and whatnot, that you were going to be able to provide me, okay, I'm having a hard time getting this particular resource I need to build my product, and you were going to be able to provide other avenues to get that resource.
Correct. Okay. So we can supply it ourselves, and that's what we typically like to do. But if it's a procurement process where we're linking up supplier with production, then we can do that as well. So you be the middleman.
You're the middleman between these two entities, I suppose.
We can go both ways.
Okay. Yep. Well, that's good. I mean, Allison, what do you also have to be, I'm sure, adept at this, but you're also like in the marketing area as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, I've been going out and networking our company and marketing us to the DFW area. I think eventually somewhere down the road we will expand, but right now the DFW is our focus.
DFW area, okay. But where would you say your primary clients are? I mean, you're located here in Burleson, but I'm quite sure you'll extend beyond that. But where would you say the majority of your clients are?
Tarrant County. We're just trying to get the backyard first, right? Start with that, see if we can have relationships further than that, but having those relationships close by so you can be there if need be. Because transportation's another piece that we can kind of fulfill the gaps. Really, the reoccurring transportation, because there's a lot of good transportation companies out there that do hot shots, stuff like that. We're not trying to compete with those. We're just saying that we can do those routine deliveries over and over again for a fair price. And so we can help with that, the product procurement, and even there's a small niche as well as where you can get it from this, get one product from this guy, get it from this guy, and get this from this, and we can assemble it. So there's a lot of things that are just, they're trying to outsource and not try to do internal labor for it, and they can just get that one item in the door.
Well, it's interesting because it sounds like you got it covered from A to Z. You not just the get the materials, but you actually can produce the product and you can get it to the final user.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds like
So really just filling those gaps.
Well, it's much broader than I thought. I mean, when I first met Allison at the B&I meeting, I really wasn't clear on what she was talking about. I thought basically they were a part of their job, I guess, was to provide avenues to get resources that in other cases were hard to find, or also maybe in some cases markets that were hard to find. But it sounds like you do more than that even.
Yeah, we try to focus more on the procurement side, but we will fulfill the needs of the transportation or the assembly, modifying products. We have a good relationship with other manufacturers, milling, ODing, other things that we can do. Just outside diameter grinding, inside diameter grinding, mill, lathe.
Of course.
So we have relationships with those people, so we can kind of get all those things done, and then when you receive it, it's ready to go on the line.
Mm-hmm. How many people work for y'all?
I was 3 or 4.
Okay, because and she implied it was a pretty small business, but I hope to get bigger, right?
A lot of it's home-based, internal, a lot of computer-based. So we've reached out to China, London, Australia. We've connected a lot of companies together with just kind of going outside that normal Texas area.
Well, it's interesting because we don't think of Burleson as a hub of international business, but it's becoming one. Actually, I guess y'all use Spinx occasionally. Is that why you?
No, but I would definitely say that the internet, the evolution of the internet and Alibaba, India Mart, there's other programs out there that can connect us with manufacturers of other countries a lot easier than before.
Well, it sounds like a 24/7 operation though, because if you're going to be dealing with China and India, I guess they're not on the same time schedule, but whatnot. So. But that's interesting because what interested me about what she was talking about is like, it sounds like you weren't just focusing on one specific industry like the oil and gas industry or light manufacturing industries or whatever else. You could do pretty much anything that requires resources and some sort of, combination.
Correct. We kind of have that attitude of get it done. Mm-hmm. Right. You got a problem. We have different levels of kind of, okay, we're going to search the local area, then we're going to start going outside our local area, and then we start thinking about things outside the box to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we get some pretty unusual requests.
We've had definitely a lot of rush orders,
of course.
Some hard to commitment. Those are very last minute pieces, but we can get them done. And then, we've even got some product from London, had to ship it to Canada, drive it through Canada down to Texas because that company was out of the product in the United States, but they had the product in London. But in order for them not to compete, we had to ship it to Canada. So there's a lot of different,
So you went to
different
Canada
avenues
yourself, driving down?
No. We shipped it to Canada and then sourced it down to
all right.
down to here.
My gosh, that's a long drive or whatever. But you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Allison, how do you approach somebody, a new business? I mean, just kind of how do you sell yourself and what you can do for them, and who do you talk to? I mean, who is the primary?
We're talking to purchasing agents within the company. And I think the biggest thing is, the restrictions within the company, jumping or getting over those barriers and those hoops and figuring out how can we get this product that we need, without jeopardizing or not following the company's protocols. So being that source for them, I think is very marketable. And I think that's what makes us stand out. And people do look for that,
I'm just getting a response. Somebody's asking a question. So,
oh, sure.
But it's about the podcast. Okay. So I'm not ignoring you. Just,
no, you're fine.
Yeah, no, it's just part of it. I try to keep track of all this going on. But anyway, so you just, one of the things that when I was in the prior career in the business world, I had a hard time cold calling. Do you have to do that?
I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, I never got that part down. Now I was a teacher for almost all my working life, but prior to that, for about 2.5 years, I was in the finance industry, and I never did get used to just cold calling people. That's a hard part of the job.
Adam says my sense of humor is what sells it.
And, that I'm sure, I bet that does help, but it just, it's still, trying to work your way through the phone chain and all this other business. I just remember those.
A lot of gatekeepers.
Yes. Trying to get to the person, man or woman that you need to talk to.
And we're not trying to replace purchasing agents in their job. We're trying to be that asset for them.
You're more like it sounds like to me in baseball terms. You're like a pinch hitter. You're there.
Exactly. I think that's a good analogy.
You're there as a safety net of some sort.
And our services works where you're not paying until we get the purchase order. So you're not having to pay for us to search. You're not having to pay for us to look. That's our job. And once we get the order, that's where we make our money.
So is it like on a percentage basis, I assume?
Yeah, we can definitely work out different ways with each company because they all have different opinions. We're very open to that, but that's the basis of it. It's kind of where we start.
Now, you said at the beginning of your conversation that you had one idea and then God laughed and told you another idea. I figured that's the way you make God laugh is tell him your plans is what I heard. What did you see in the beginning? That's different now.
I think true nature, that pull versus the push, that inner speak. So that's, every door closed.
Right.
Well, every door that I approached closed, and it wasn't like, I just tried 2 or 3 things and then stop. It was one after another after another.
So what you have now is kind of evolved from what your original vision was. I guess I was asking what the original vision for your company was.
It was more or less manufacturing products, but after kind of doing some self-direction, self-talk, and kind of figuring out what I'm really good at, I got a lot of skills in a lot of different different trades. So I kind of understand a lot of different positions, the big picture, goals, directions of companies, where the needs at, and it kind of all fit into this direction.
So prior to starting this business, what was your work experience?
Managing businesses. I managed a repair shop for a while. I was an operations officer in a transportation company, Marine Corps for 5 years. And my father owned a business for, I think it's 38 years now. So he was a logger, is still a logger. So 5th generation from that, grew up in that household, seeing the back end workings of a small business.
Are you native Texan?
No, I've been 2010 came here.
So that's good enough. You got it as quick as you could.
I think I'm on 13 years.
Yeah, so. It's getting close. Another 13 to 14 years, and we'll call you a native. But so you have experience in this, and so what? I don't know, compelled you to start your own business because I don't have to tell you about the risks of running a business.
I think it was with my father, watching him and I just always had that drive. Always wanted a business.
Well, everybody that talks about wanting to have their own business, I think they had this idea they're going to have all these people working for them and they'll get their weekends off and all this other stuff.
We all do.
And I'm going to, I'll just drop by at 10 in the morning. I'll leave around 4, make sure I hit the golf tee time and all that. And they just, after listening to, this is my 4th year doing this podcast, I've talked to a lot of business owners. It's a 24/7 gig, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Allison, what's your background in this?
I worked for a skilled nursing facility for 12 years. So I did sales and marketing for them, business office consultant. And then I had my twins, and then that brought me to Adam. So
How long have you been?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. And you had twins. They're, if I remember, like 6.
Yes, they'll be 6 next month.
So where did they go to school?
North Joshua.
Okay. That's a very fine school.
It is.
It's
Very.
You're very fortunate. Joshua, when I kind of here 30 years ago to teach in Burleson, Joshua was kind of a backwater. Now it's an exceptionally good district.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And so it makes a good neighbor. Of course, it drives us Burleson folks a little crazy that, you have a Burleson address, but you're in Joshua ISD, so, but that's okay.
I always just say I got lucky.
Yeah, we got lucky. Huh? Well, I don't know about that. But so you have your 2 twins and school starting again soon. And it's funny because I talk to parents and they're like, at the beginning of summer, they said, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to go to the pool. And then about mid-July, like, I can't wait for school to start again. Do you have any children yourself?
Yeah, that's how actually we got introduced together. I got 2 twin boys, and my wife was a part of the Mothers of Multiple group in Fort Worth. And so
multiple, that's an interesting name.
They connected. We got connected together through that.
Well, that's interesting. So, but you've been there, you said 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure some days are easier than others, but it sounds like, when you're in a building business, in a growing business, it must be kind of fun.
It is. And I'll tell you what, Adam is amazing as a boss and as a leader. He really, I think the thing that sets him apart from other, small business owners that are growing, and what I absolutely love about him is he's constantly thinking of new ideas, new ways of doing stuff, pushing the boundaries, going above and beyond. And, there's never a time where I've heard him say, no, we can't do this. It's always, let's find a way.
That's right. So, make it work.
And he does amazingly every single time.
Yeah, make it work. Well, that's a good attitude to have. I mean,
yeah.
But it fits the kind of business you're in, because I'm sure you're dealing with very different industries and you're with different needs and different restraints. You mentioned political restraints. I guess I didn't follow up on that. What when you said that, what were you referring to?
So the larger companies have their purchasing processes to keep their money very in line. So they only want certain accounts on their books. So if they haven't done business with that company for, I don't know, maybe 6 months or more, they take them out as an account. They get them out of the system. So that's where the third-party purchasing piece comes in. So they'll use us routinely to go buy those one-off things instead of having an account with some guy that sells... I think like one of them was like the snake grabbers, right? It was a specific type for this snake or something like that. So we purchased that. We marked it up, but they don't want to set up an account with that person, and they don't want P cards. So they have a very specific process how they do business, and they would rather outsource it to a third party purchasing company than to use the credit card.
Well, I also was thinking more. I mean, since you deal with India and China and foreign suppliers, is some of these political differences, shall we say, we were going through, particularly with China. Has that ever impeded y'all's business?
No, it changed it a little bit because a lot of people were bringing it in by ship, and then we went the air route.
Well, that's good because probably still sitting out in a boat out in L.A. Because I remember about 18 months ago they had like 3 months of boats waiting to unload.
Yeah, we've seen, if you look at some of the images of the boats coming in and going, they're just all sitting out there. And then they just went back.
You're right. And
so everybody lost their product. Pretty chaotic situation.
Well, yeah, I had a couple of friends that their businesses had to be put in kind of suspended animation, so to speak, because their products were out on the boat. I mentioned my friend Chris over at Wild Cigar. He wanted to open up sooner. Same with Gala. They wanted to open up sooner than they did, but their materials were on a boat out in Southern California. And so it really was impacting people I know, and I guess it had impacted y'all too.
Yeah, I think it opened up some avenues for us to get a different approach to it. They're seeking different alternative options. I think COVID disrupted a lot of things. The unemployment went through the roof, so obviously everybody had to lay them off. So that opened up some avenues for us. But at the same time, is like we like to say, is these problems have always been there. They just got more attention now than ever.
I would think that with unemployment being a problem or laying off and on, since y'all are not on the payroll, so to speak, and you don't have to have benefits and all that, with this company, I would figure y'all might be used even more than maybe just, typical.
Yeah, I think it's just getting the word out, letting people know we exist, and letting the options that we have. It's a little tough getting through the barriers of the cold calls, because everybody thinks you're trying to sell them something then and there. And it's really just building a relationship with that company and that purchasing agent. And like you said, being that pinch hitter, we're there when you need us.
So, Allison, you go out and visit these people personally?
No, it's mostly over the phone. I can and will. I've been, to some of our customers, just visiting here and there. But, yeah, mostly over the phone conversations.
How do you get your leads?
We got some online ads.
Yeah.
We got some online ads going and got the website, and most of it's keeping that cold calling going, but also entering the networking and environment.
Yeah, word of mouth.
What is that website address?
It's GilmerMFG.com.
GilmerMFG.com. So that's where most of your clients reach you at.
Correct. There's a nice little intro video and kind of describes our product in detail and maybe if it worked for you.
Well, it has a video. Is it available? The next time we got to send it in, could run it.
Definitely.
How long is it?
I think we got it down to like a minute and a half.
Well, that's good because after
Try to
that,
keep it short and sweet.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. It was it professionally made, or is it like what I do? Sometimes
We
like
actually
cheap
use
phones,
that Synthesia, where it's an AI. So you type in the script and you get a AI guy. You pick your character.
Taylor over there is having a mild stroke, so yeah, I can recommend him if you want to do human being route. He does really good work, and I've seen a lot of his commercials and they're very, very good. And anyway, there's a little plug for you there, Taylor. So calm down. All right, he's not on mic today, so he's giving us hand signals. Oop, I can't use that one. Anyway, so what's the phone number?
It's 682-235-5414.
I'll ask that again at the end when we're wrapping up so people could call you and whatnot. How many phone calls a day do you make, Allison?
Not enough, according to Adam.
Not enough. Yeah. I could just,
A lot.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's like you're like, wait, you're not on the phone. I'm in the restroom. It's lunch. If that still exists. But, is it a good job for a working mom?
I love it.
Okay.
I do.
Because, almost all the women in my life work, and it's, can you do it from home?
Yes. Oh, I do. Yeah.
You do mostly from home?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, I thought you were in the shop or something, or something like that. That's a good thing. A lot of people I know work from home now. Even prior to COVID, they were starting out now. Like my daughter, I don't think her company even has a local office anymore. And they used to be located, right off Wilshire. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's nice, and you can take care of the kids and drop them off to school and meet the teacher night and all that other stuff.
It does. It makes life easier. I think I was one of the first people to work from home before COVID. So
really,
I'm used to it.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of discipline to do it, doesn't it?
It does. I'm very disciplined, though.
Well, I guess so.
She's very, very thorough, very attention to detail.
Well, when the COVID hit, we went to online school. I teach at DBU and at Hill College, and we went to online. And I thought, I hope they don't get too used to this because I need to make a living, But I bet Hill in particular has gotten very much online. But anyway, I'm getting off the track here a little bit. Where do you see your company in the next couple of years? I mean, what do you want to see it develop to?
I think structurally just kind of growing that base, growing that base of customers, and get the infrastructure going to where it's dedicated attention to each process of the business.
Mm-hmm. More employees, bigger space, all that, or is that like?
That's a part of it.
Yeah,
but I think it's more or less the employees, the structure, getting more attention to detail on each avenue of the business.
I've been told by others that Burleson's actually become a really good spot for it because of I-35 and all those bigger businesses that are going down there. And yesterday I was talking with Victoria Johnson, one of our city council people, and they have been told as a city council that's going to be more and more of a growth area for that kind of big, massive warehousing, wholesaling, and light manufacturing. That business park out there. Yeah. Do you do a lot of business out there by any chance?
Not in that area.
Well, it's coming. And it's already there for a lot of them. And, Burleson is a good place for that, for you to be at, because Victoria and I were talking about this yesterday about how the city's trying to get ahead of that. So they won't be caught off guard, but they're getting a lot of interest from large national, even international businesses to put warehousing there because of the location, right outside of Metroplex, on a major highway, all this other business. So you'll pick the right place to start, but you want to expand also to Dallas County, I assume, as well.
Yeah, we're just trying to feel it out where we need to be with the customers' attention, whether it need to be physically there or it can all be done, over phone, email. Most purchase agents that we deal with is they prefer the email.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but because they probably get so many requests and whatever else. And
I can't imagine how many they get emails a day.
One of my acquaintances is in the office of one of those big warehouses down south in 35, and she says they get all sorts of inquiries and whatnot because it just that's where it's happening. That you don't just walk into business, Allison, and say, "Here I am. Here's my card." You don't do that.
No,
Okay. See, I had to do that. It was when I was with Dun & Bradstreet. I had to do that. I'd walk in and say, "Here I am, and I don't care what you're doing. Make time for me, please." And that didn't work out quite so well that way. But anyway, I thought, well, I'd rather go to an environment where people are nice. So I became a school teacher. It's irony, But you see yourself branching out, like at branch offices in other places. Is that like a long-term goal?
I think we can be pretty established here. I don't think we need, for the business model, I don't think we need to have multiple locations.
Okay.
So I think we can be established in one location and kind of service a wide variety of customers.
Well, it sounds like you're not one to, dominate the world like Jeff Bezos. And
That's there, but in due time.
Yeah, we'll get around to it, and then maybe you'll give Jeff Bezos a reason to be concerned.
Right.
Well, I don't know about that, When you got as much money as he does anything concern you? We're coming close to the end, so I want y'all to tell our audience what you want them to know, kind of like in a summary of y'all's services, location, product, and at the end also how to get a hold of you.
So basically, yes, we work with purchasing agents or anybody that kind of fulfills that role as that side person, like you said, the pinch hitter, and we can help search for products while you're also searching for products. I know you get bombarded by a lot of things. You have your plan for the day, and then someone comes in and say, "We need this rush order," and you still have your tasks that need to be done, but this thing takes priority. So that would be a good idea when we fit in, so we can go find those items for you. We do a lot of products. We do a lot of services. There's really no cap on what item or category that we work with. And just give us a call, see if we're a right fit, see if there's something that we can help you with. And that's really about it. I don't know, Allison, you got anything to add to that?
Do you deal with the retail and restaurant businesses as well?
Not particularly, because it's kind of, they kind of have their sources.
By the way, your accent gives you away. Are you from the Carolinas?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, because my wife family talks with that, but your accent gave you away. I'm sorry about that. Well, now
it's pretty ingrained.
Yeah, okay. All right, okay. Allison, what would you have them know?
I think he pretty much covered it. I would say too, one of the other things is even for smaller businesses, we can come in and help them as well as they're growing with purchasing too. So I would say we could do big and small, the large corporations as well as helping out those smaller businesses build their business.
A lot of time that owner is the purchasing agent.
Yeah.
And he's trying to grow, trying to push the boundaries, and he's really held down by the financial piece.
No, you don't have like a size floor or ceiling in terms of who you deal with.
No.
Okay. And they could contact you again, how?
682-235-5414 or sales@gilmermfg.com.
Sales@gilmermfg.com. And you'll be answering, won't you, Allison?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this. It wasn't that bad, was it?
That was nice.
No,
All right,
very nice. Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Yes, thank
I enjoy introducing businesses to Burleson because I really believe in this town, and I think there's a lot of good stuff going on in this area, and a lot of business opportunities going on in this area. And so I appreciate what y'all do.
Thank you.
You bet. This will be on podcast tomorrow, about this time tomorrow. And it's already on YouTube live. So if you want to send it to your friends or whatever and say, hey, or show your kids, Mommy, what's on TV?
They'll love that.
Yeah, they will. Okay. All right. Thursday, I have Reach Across Johnson County with Erica Byers and their seminar. And also next week, I also have Next Step Women's Center and Crazy 8. So you got some nonprofits heading your way. So we'll see y'all Thursday.